front passenger wheel and tire. Tires are brand new, so they should be fine. The airbag doesn't look horrible. Get some light on it. Well, maybe it does have a lot of cracks in it. There's something leaking a lot of oil up in here. I would think it's, I don't know what is that hose. I don't know what that is. So here is one problem that I have. Is this shock underneath here, if you can see it. I'm not sure what this thing does. It's some kind of stabilizer. It might be a sway, like an anti-sway device, whatever they call them, but it's bent, so the steering kind of clunks. But what's weird is it does have a hydraulic hose fitting on it, so maybe that's where some of that oil is coming from. Now there's a ping tank, just found one that I need to check. So then going around to the driver's side, that was the drinker side, as they say. So here's the coach, if you care. It's pretty. It needs some work. I'm working on the inside, just got that done. So this is the driver's side airbag. Looks about the same as the other side. Doesn't look too horrible to take apart. I will need some kind of a fitting to go from up there around, like a 45. And that's kind of, okay, that's covered, so I guess it's okay. I don't see any shock absorbers on this thing, and I know I have shock absorbers. Most of the front end has been fixed, has been worked on at least, and we've got it, and it drives, and you know, it drives pretty decent. The that is my steering, I think, knuckle, and my steering system. It looks okay. It's kind of loose feeling going down the road, but oh, there's a shock absorber. I see it. That looks really old. Yep. Oh, I just felt the air come down. That's kind of scary. I don't hear any leaks. Of course, maybe it's because I'm talking the whole time. So coming around to the back on the driver's side before everything starts dropping. Let me turn the fan off. That'll help. So driver's side drive, have, this is the airbag. Doesn't look, well, it's kind of the same as the front. It's, and this thing is dropping on me. This is the valve that I'm always fighting with, trying to keep the coach up. There's the other airbag. Now I see why you have such a hard time doing this in your videos. Cannot see the shock anywhere. It looks pretty clean in here. I do have oil dripping out from underneath the engine in certain places. Turn this light off, turn it back on. Give me a brighter light. The air canisters look pretty decent. Who really knows until I get into it. The drive shaft looks like it has oil all, oh no it doesn't. Actually it's fairly clean. Thought it was going to be oily. That's the other side of the airbag on the opposite side. So let me go, oh, we need to look at the tag. So the tag, bag, it's actually not horrible, not that I can see. Now this is raised all the way up. Now I don't know what these look like when you squish them down, because it's kind of hard to see under there once you squish them down. So I'm assuming there's only one bag on the back. Here's the engine. It is oily underneath. It's not horrible. Here's the air, oh, what do you call that thing? It's the air dryer, and it's fairly simple mechanism. It seems to work okay. It purges every once in a while. I haven't really checked how often it's purging, but it seems to purge like normal, I guess you'd say. So this is the passenger side. This is the passenger side airbag. If I can get a light on it. And this is the passenger side adjusting valve on top. And then this is the rear passenger, I guess you'd call it, the passenger rear drive bag. And this is the passenger tag bag, the tag bag. And it actually, from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look horrible. Maybe you think otherwise, but that's the really hard one to get. So if that one's not bad, I'm okay with it. Now, I also don't hear any big leaks, but I know it's leaking somewhere. Sorry, hold the camera upright. So that's the drive line and all that. Now, it is leaking oil out of the bottom of that transmission, transaxle, whatever you want to call it. So let's look at the engine real quick, since I got you here. So this doesn't look too terribly oily. That hose coming out right there has some oil around it. And this hose has been replaced, which is good. At least that shop that charged me $40,000 to fix this engine and do some other work changed out a little bit of stuff. That's probably a good line to change out. And there's a new line up top. I think that's probably a breather of some kind. This is the compressor. Doesn't look like it's losing any oil. I don't know, maybe it's got a little bit of oil on it underneath. Not too bad. And that is the air thing, chuck thing that I can't remember the name of. You've talked about it on your show, and I can't figure out what that looks like. That is. I do have one of these on the batteries to keep them up. It's a Noco 5x2, and it does a good job keeping the deep cycle batteries up. Let me lift up the garage door real quick, rest it away, and I can pull the engine open. Wasn't planning on doing this, but I guess I will. Pull that thing out of the way. Okay, so here's my nemesis. This thing has leaked oil from under here since day one. The alternator I've fought with. The alternator's actually working pretty well. It doesn't really leak oil here, but where it does leak, it looks like it's from up underneath this flywheel, or balancer, I guess it is. I'm not sure exactly where that's coming from. It's got some oil behind it. Maybe that's coming from further up somewhere. Maybe in the compressor, because the compressor's right there. This actually looks fairly dry over on this side. Now where I get problems, I don't know if you can see it with my stinking light in the way, but the let me get in here real quick. So the fan, it's always oily. I tightened everything up and went through this fan probably 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Okay, maybe 6 years ago. I don't know. Anyway, so these are the filters for this thing. They are covered in oil. Bring you back there. I need my engine probe thing to be able to see all this. These look, I don't know if these are leaking or if it's maybe the turbo above it leaking, but the turbo is right there above it, but it looks dry all the way around it, pretty much. Now I did have an issue with that when they put the turbo on. They didn't secure it down very well, and it's like at an angle. That hose is like an angle, at an angle coming off of it. But everything, oh, I don't know what that is. Looks kind of wet right through there, but that might be dried oil. This turbo, the old turbo exploded on us going down the highway right after we had all this engine work done. Should have told us something. And it was replaced on the roadside. Now, I don't know whether they greased it, oiled it, kind of like what you do on your videos, but I kind of rather doubt it. Just call me cynical. But you can see the oil on the ground from when this engine sits back here. It's got two spots. It's got one where I'm supposing it's that's the oil pan, and then back. I need a brighter light, sorry. And then that is actually full of oil. It may not look like it in the picture, but it is. I'm pretty sure it's leaking. I don't know how tight to tighten those bolts, so I just kind of hand tightened them. I didn't know what torque setting. Oh, look at that thing. It's leaking right there, that filter. That filter is what's making that oil spot right there. Well, I can fix that. That's easy. And I guess that this thing is my slobber tube of some kind. Just dumping oil everywhere. That's got oil coming out of it. So maybe I need to make a slobber bucket for it, like I did on my Wonder Lodge. It was a slobberer. This is a Series 60 Detroit, by the way. Let's see if I can get to the other side without running anything clothes-wise. Probably not. It's fine. This is the side of the engine. I should have put this on wide mode, I guess. But then the rest of it, actually, it looks pretty dry. But I think it's got caked on oil. It doesn't look like it from the picture, but it does look like it has caked on oil on it. I wish I had a brighter light. This light stinks. So I can see on the transmission down there, on that pipe right there, that's all full of oil. Now that might be coming from somewhere else, but I guess I'd have to give it the old sniff test and see what it looks like. So anyway, well, that's the underneath of my bus, if that tells you anything. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your help.